Welcome to B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today we will be discussing about library networks, which comes under library automation and networking. The Indian library networks primarily they aim to provide objectives nearly based on promoting collaboration, reducing resource sharing and access to information within the country. Some primary objectives of this are to facilitate and enable within libraries within India to share the resources such as books, journals and digital resources, making it easier to have access to a wide range of information sources by the public. To enhance access to information by promoting collaboration among libraries within India. These networks help to know that people in different regions have equitable access to information and sharing of knowledge. So, to promote scholarly communication, the networks encourage the dissemination of research and knowledge within India, support open access initiatives and promote collaboration among scholars and researchers. To develop shared standards and guidelines, they work to develop standards and guidelines that help the libraries within India to organize and manage their collections effectively. To advocate policy development, they advocate for libraries and also interests of the libraries and their users within India, addressing important issues like copyright, licensing and open access to information. They facilitate online information services by developing databases for specialists, projects and institutions. To bring about expertise, they also share the expertise in housekeeping and other library operations. To design and create new services and to bring about improvement of the existing services. They bring about cooperation, regional, national, international networks for the exchange of information. Brief history of library networks in India. The stages of network can be staged among three periods. Pre-1980. Before 1980, library networks in India were mostly informal and ad hoc. They used to share the resources, but there was no big standardized procedure or something. There was no significant government or institutional support to library networking. Then many did not even know that they can work with computers. So, that was the state of affairs. Then 1980 to 90, we could see that library networks began to take shape with the government initiative. Government came forward to support mainly this Department of Scientific and Industrial Research and the University Grants Commission played an important role in promoting resource sharing and sharing other networks. Some notable networks established during this period were CalibNet, Calcutta Library Network 1986, Developing Library Network. It is Developing Library Network now. Earlier it was Delhi Network 1988, InfliBnet, Information and Library Network 1991. These were the initial ones. Then now in 2000 we could see Indian library networks. They grew very fast and with the help of internet and digital technologies. They were established and existing networks expanded their services. Expansion of InfliBnet, Information Library and Network. This grew to become a major national network and they connected all the universities, colleges and research institutions across India. Then emergence of regional networks. We could see that regional networks like Madras Library Networks, Ahmedabad Library Network and Bangalore Academic Library Network were established to cater to the needs of the public, needs of the users. Integration of digital resources. Library networks began to focus on providing access to digital resources such as e-journals, e-books and databases in addition to print resources. Indian library networks, they play an important role in resource sharing, promoting access to information, supporting professional development of the staff across the country. Key aspects of licensing policies include fair pricing, to negotiate fair pricing and copyright issues, usage rights and long term preservation. These are the things they focused on. Centralized licensing. National licensing policies are often managed by the central government agency, library consortium or any other government coordinated body which negotiates licenses on behalf of the vendors, on behalf of participating institutions to the vendors. Consortium based pricing. Institutions often join in library consortia to influence their collective bargaining power in licensing negotiations with vendor, resulting in more favorable and reduced pricing and access terms. Usage rights and copyright. National licensing policies establish clear guidelines and usage rights, such as whether the content could be shared among institutions, whether they can share among educational institutions, or are archived for long-term preservation. These policy has to be clearly addressed. So, these address copyright issues to ensure that it is in compliance with the intellectual property rights. Pricing models. Policies often negotiate fair price models considering factors such as the size of the subscribing institution, number of users, and the country's economic conditions. In some cases, policies may advocate open access agreements where publishing costs will be covered by the organization or research funders, allowing free access to open access resources. Accessibility. National licensing policies strive to ensure broad access to digital content, promoting site-wide or country-wide access with access to all the institutions within the network. So, whoever are connected, whoever are the institutions connected through this network, national network, they will all have the benefits of digital network, digital resources. Digital preservation. Policies may address the long-term preservation of digital content, ensuring that valuable scholarly resources remain accessible to the future generations, future researchers and future students. National licensing policies for purchasing journals and other digital content supplied by the various vendors, they also aim to maximize access, negotiate fair pricing, and address issues related to usage rights, copyright and preservation. Normally in digital resources we have to have usage rights, but otherwise we will not be able to answer the audit and all. By leveraging collective bargaining power of libraries of institutions, these policies they provide equitable access to scholarly resources benefiting teachers, students and scholars. Factors responsible for networks development in India. The report submitted by the Working Group of the Planning Commission on Modernization of Libraries, Services and Informatics in the 7th 5-year plan, 1985 to 90. The National Policy Documentation on Library and Information Systems, that is 1986, was approved by the HRD. It was approved by the Human Resources, that is Education, Ministry of Education. Report of the Association of Indian Universities 1987 on National Policy on University Libraries. So, this was also instrumental in bringing about network development. The UGC under the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India, strongly they emphasized on combined effort for both automation and networking. These were the things which were responsible to create a national networks in India. National library networks. National library networks, important things are resource sharing. Since these networks link different libraries together, patrons have access to more resources than in a single library. If they were in a single library, they may not have this much access to resources. But since it is connecting all the libraries together and all the libraries resources are visible. Digitization and online. It provides digitization and online access to a wider and also supports databases and most relevant recent publications to share. And they also integrate technologies like digital libraries, automated cataloging, search engines to improve effectiveness and accessibility of resources. They also provide professional development, expertise in the field of library and information science. So, the library networks, they provide sharing of resources, sharing of digital services, and this national licensing policy, because of networks, they can bargain and bring about reduced pricing rates and share the resources commonly with all this thing. And they can also exchange the resources because they follow standardized practices. So, this helps in pricing models and the number of users and the country's economic conditions. Based on all these things, they fix the prices. The prices are negotiated. The usage rights are that they will be mentioned in the licensing agreement about the usage rights, but long-term preservation and usage rights are the important thing in digital resources. So, they aim to provide equitable and all-time access to all the resources to the researchers, scholars and teachers.